Valery, and today I will speak about cultural appropriation. According to the Cambridge Dictionary, the cultural appropriation is the rolling act or use things of some culture that is not yours, especially if you don't understand or respect the culture. In the last years, this movement increased the exponential way because the social medias and the globalization is an important part of the information of the cultures around the world. How the appropriation of the main cultures all start with the people, with the population, with the community. When the society started with the one practices is important for the society, for example, food, music, dances, clothing, paints, whatever. The group of the community starts with the identity. The identity is important because it's the difference of the other people and of the other community. But sometimes have external agents to interrupt this cycle. For example, the exploitation. When one group of community damaged with exploitation, the community lose their resource and the economy of the people. The cultural appropriation is linked to the stereotypes. Well, so. For example, the stereotypes in the fashion is increased according to the social media. So sometimes, for that, the new trends in, for example, TikTok, Instagram, whatever, not have a context or a history of the same trends. For example, in 2021, in Instagram and USA start to fashion African brands. But the reality, this movement and start to angry to some cultures, because the African brands not is only for a continent, it's for a group of countries. That's number one. Number two, these brands it's important for the culture because it's the way the slaves mark the routes of escapes for the slave age. Is ethical. The ethic is a part of philosophy is willing to practice the representation of a good. So for that, the cultural appropriation not is ethical. For example, if I want to travel the other country and practice the religion, this country, I don't know nothing about that, maybe I can break the law or the religion of this community, and that's not is ethical for me, and for the community. The cultural appropriation in the media. According to the years, the media is important for the communicate with the people and with the world, but sometimes don't have the correct way to say the culture. For example, when I watch a movie and the movie is a Hollywood movie, and maybe it's in Mexico, and in Mexico it's like a orange filter and it's the syrup. That is cultural appropriation, and that is sent to message the culture that is not correct. Case number one, examples of cultural appropriation. Oisha and the invitation of indigenous garments in Chiapas. Oisha is a brand of haute couture in Spain. Okay? Well, in 2019, Oisha put on the public one thing a bag, but this bag is not appropriate to Oisha, because our one community on Chiapas is the origin of this design. Okay, this is cultural appropriation because Oisha sent the bag in only 170 euros. But the reality in Mexico, this bag is only in 315 Mexican pesos. So it's more than the 50%, and it's exploitation of the community, and the resources and economy of the community is lost for the big companies. And the case number 2. The case number 2 stays with the public of the New York Times about the Carolina Herrera in 2020. This started with a card of the Secretary of Mexican Culture, the meant to Carolina Herrera for the collection to summer spring of 2020. Because in this collection have different dresses, but these dresses is inspired in Maya culture and in Colombian colors. But the reality is the exploitation of this Maya community and some communities of Colombia. So for that, the Secretary of Mexican Culture started with a letter, but the brand only say it's only inspired, not is cultural appropriation. But the reality is other, because the groups of people is affected for the economy for that. According to the cases, we can see the affectation in different groups of country and the world, and that is not the most ethical. So actually, yeah, it's so sad that actually according to INEGI and PH, in Mexico exists 68 natives community, and the country don't have any about that. So it's so sad because it's different tradition of this community and the people ignore that. So in my opinion, it's too different. It's too different. The cultural appropriation. I don't know to want to practice this one, but you can be information but not discriminate these groups. So my recommendation, if you want to practice one thing, music, dance, clothes, whatever you want, you can, but only inform it after that.